In a small town called Villa Esperanza, there lived a rescue dog named Daisy. Daisy was a mix of Labrador and German Shepherd, with golden fur and bright brown eyes. She had been rescued by a local animal protection organization when she was just a puppy, after being found abandoned on a deserted road. Since then, Daisy had been trained to be a rescue dog, helping to find lost people and save lives. Daisy lived with her trainer Clara, who was a dedicated volunteer for the animal cause. Clara and Daisy developed a special bond, working together on various rescue missions over the years. Daisy was known in the town for her intelligence and courage, always ready to help those in need. One day, Clara received an urgent call. A group of children had gotten lost during an excursion in the forest near the town. The local authorities asked for Clara and Daisy's help to find the children before nightfall. Clara and Daisy, along with a rescue team, immediately set out for the forest. The forest was dense and dark, with tall trees and shadows that seemed to hide secrets. Daisy, with her keen sense of smell, began sniffing the ground, following the children's trail. Clara and the rescue team followed behind, confident in Daisy's ability. Daisy led the way, sniffing the ground and following the children's trail. She stopped from time to time, lifting her head to listen for any sound that might indicate the presence of the children. Clara and the rescue team followed in silence, trying not to scare the children or any wild animals that might be nearby. As they advanced through the forest, the children's trail grew stronger. Daisy seemed more determined, as if she knew they were close to finding the children. Clara felt a mix of hope and anxiety, knowing that every minute was crucial. Finally, after hours of searching, Daisy found the children. They were scared and exhausted, but relieved to see Clara and the rescue team. Daisy, with her gentle and protective nature, approached the children, licking their hands and faces to calm them down. Clara and the rescue team quickly checked the children's condition, offering them water and food. The children told them that they had gotten lost after wandering away from the group during the excursion. They were grateful to have been found and promised never to wander off alone again. With the children safe, Clara and Daisy led the way back to the town. The rescue team followed behind, ensuring that everyone arrived safely. As they left the forest, the children began to feel more relieved, knowing that they would soon be home with their families. When they arrived in the town, the children's families were waiting, anxious and relieved to see their children safe. Clara and Daisy were welcomed as heroines, with the families thanking them for their tireless work and dedication. The town of Villa Esperanza organized a celebration in honor of Clara and Daisy. The rescued children told their story, highlighting Daisy's courage and determination. Clara gave an emotional speech, thanking everyone who had helped in the rescue mission and emphasizing the importance of animal rescue work. Daisy, with her hero collar, was applauded by everyone present. The children, now safe and happy, thanked Daisy for finding them and bringing them back home. The community of Villa Esperanza became even more united, inspired by Daisy's courage and loyalty. Over time, Daisy continued to be a symbol of hope and resilience in Villa Esperanza. Clara and Daisy dedicated their lives to helping others and bringing hope to the community. They continued to work on rescue missions, saving lives and inspiring others to do the same. Daisy became a legend in Villa Esperanza, her story being told and retold, reminding everyone of the power of love and determination. She proved that no matter how difficult the journey, courage and loyalty can make a difference. Inspired by Daisy's work, Clara decided to expand the training program for rescue dogs in Villa Esperanza. She traveled across the country, training dogs and helping communities in need. In every place she visited, she told Daisy's story and how her courage had inspired everyone. On one of her trips, Clara met a young man named Pedro, who was also a rescue dog trainer. Pedro had a dog named Rex, who was as brave and loyal as Daisy. Together, they decided to join forces and create a national network of rescue dogs called Four-Legged Heroes. The Four-Legged Heroes network grew rapidly, with trainers and rescue dogs across the country. Clara, Pedro, and Daisy worked together, helping in rescue missions during natural disasters, finding lost people, and bringing hope to communities in need. Daisy's story continued to inspire new members of the network, reminding everyone of the power of love and loyalty. Over time, the Four-Legged Heroes network continued to grow, with new members and rescue dogs joining the team. Clara and Pedro dedicated their lives to helping others and bringing hope to the community. They continued to tell Daisy's story, inspiring future generations to never give up, no matter how difficult the journey. And so, in Villa Esperanza, the legend of Daisy, the rescue dog, continued to live on, inspiring future generations to never give up no matter how difficult the journey. Clara and Pedro decided to open a training center for rescue dogs in Villa Esperanza. The center, called Four-Legged Heroes Training Center, became a place where dogs of all breeds and sizes could be trained to become heroes. Clara and Pedro believed that every dog had the potential to be a hero, and they were determined to help each one reach their full potential. Daisy, now an older and more experienced dog, became a mentor to the new dogs in training. She shared her wisdom and experience, teaching them to follow trails, find lost people, and work as a team. The new dogs looked up to Daisy with admiration and respect, inspired by her courage and loyalty. One day, Clara and Pedro received an urgent call. A group of hikers had gotten trapped in a nearby mountain after a snowstorm. The conditions were dangerous, and the weather was getting worse. Clara and Pedro knew it was a risky mission, but they were determined to help. They gathered a rescue team, including Daisy and some of the new dogs trained at the center. The team set out for the mountain, facing strong winds and heavy snow. Daisy led the way, following the trail of the lost hikers. The new dogs, although nervous, followed her example, determined to prove their worth. After hours of searching, Daisy and the team found the lost hikers. They were exhausted and cold, but relieved to see the rescue team. Daisy and the other dogs worked together to guide the hikers back to safety, while Clara and Pedro provided medical care and support. The mission was a success, and the hikers were rescued safely. Clara and Pedro were proud of the new dogs, who had shown courage and determination in their first rescue mission. Daisy, with her hero collar, was applauded by everyone, including the new dogs, who now saw her as a true leader. With the success of the rescue mission in the mountain, the Four-Legged Heroes Training Center gained national recognition. Clara and Pedro received requests for help from other cities and countries, and they decided to expand the center to meet the demand. They opened branches of the center in other cities, training dogs and trainers to become heroes in their own communities. Daisy, now an elderly dog, continued to be a symbol of hope and inspiration, visiting the branches of the center and sharing her story with the new dogs and trainers. Over time, Daisy aged, and her health began to decline. Clara and Pedro cared for her with love and affection, grateful for everything she had done. Daisy, even in her old age, continued to be a symbol of hope and courage, inspiring everyone around her. One day, Daisy closed her eyes for the last time, surrounded by Clara, Pedro, and the dogs she had trained and inspired. The town of Villa Esperanza organized a funeral in her honor, where everyone could pay their last respects to the rescue dog who had saved so many lives. After Daisy's passing, Clara and Pedro continued their work at the Four-Legged Heroes Training Center, dedicating their lives to helping others and bringing hope to the community. They continued to tell Daisy's story, inspiring future generations to never give up, no matter how difficult the journey. And so, in Villa Esperanza, the legend of Daisy, the rescue dog, continued to live on, inspiring future generations to never give up, no matter how difficult the journey.